All right, good afternoon, everyone. We're on the afternoon docket. We are going to begin with the first appearance docket. Those of you who are on the first appearance docket, we are going to, I'll let you know if I've determined probable cause, and then we'll talk about release conditions. Please speak with your attorney before making any statements on the record, because everything in this courtroom is being recorded. All right, so we are going to begin with Violet Albin.
North Broward, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Albin, you are before the court on a KPS for a petty theft charge,
Yes,
and the court does find probable cause. This is from April 22nd. Do we know what Ms. Albin wants to do?
Yes, Your Honor. She'd like to resolve this matter if possible.
Is it possible state?
He offers adjudication, court cost, no return to Elegant Beauty at 2401 West Atlantic Boulevard in Pompano Beach.
Do you understand that offer, Miss Albin?
I do.
Is that what you'd like to do?
Yes,
Okay.
All right, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth?
yes,
All right, you can put your hand down. Do you understand everything that's going on here today?
I do.
Is anyone forcing you to resolve your case?
No,
Are you under the influence of drugs or alcohol?
no,
You understand you have the right to go to trial, but by taking a plea today, you are giving up that right.
yes,
Is anyone forcing you to resolve your case?
no,
Have you ever been treated for mental or emotional illness?
no,
And do you understand that if you are not a U.S. citizen, that by taking a plea today could subject you to deportation or immigration changes?
yes,
What plea do you wish to enter, ma'am?
no contest.
I accept your no contest plea. I find that it's freely and voluntarily given. Your sentence is adjudication and time served, and no return to that Elegant Beauty store, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All
Thank you
right.
very,
Okay, good luck.
Good luck.
thank you.
Brenda Morales.
North Broward.
All right, Ms. Morales, you're before the court for a DUI, and the court does find probable cause.
Judge, it's my understanding this is Miss Morales' first contact ever with the criminal justice system. She's been living here in South Florida for the last 20 years. I'm going to ask the court to consider releasing her on her own recognizance.
Okay,
I'm not sure. I'm not showing any local history. I don't know if she has any priors or not elsewhere.
okay. All right, I'll RR Ms. Morales. And ma'am, you need to make sure that you pay attention to the mail so you'll know when you'll have to come back to court, okay?
Okay,
All right, good luck.
thank you.
Audrey Clero.
North Broward.
All right, Ms. Clero, you're before the court for a traffic KPS matter.
Yes, I am. I missed my court date because my family moved me to Georgia.
All right,
However, if I can, ma'am, I have been working on. I have a bondsman, and I have been planning on turning myself in. I acquired the money and everything. So I've been working on that, and I'm also paying my license off.
okay,
And I know it's I have $3,000 to pay. And I'm
okay.
working with that.
Well, so what do you want? The bond is $500. You want me to leave that in place?
No, I mean, I want another chance is what I would like.
You what?
But I said I would like another chance is what I would like, but I know that's not how it works.
Does the state have an offer for Ms. Clero?
I have two children. I've been working really hard to turn all of this around, and I'm only here because. Long story.
Offers would be time served. This would be a second within 5 years.
It's clear if you want to resolve your case, the offer would be time served. You'd be out of jail today, but you pick up another suspended license charge, you could
I
end
will
up an
not do
habitual
that.
offender.
Well, you've got to listen to what would happen if you pick up another one. So that's what
Okay.
your attorney's trying to tell you. So please listen.
I will, ma'am.
Okay, you could end up an habitual traffic offender and lose your license for a very long time.
Okay.
Okay, so you
Yeah.
get your license straightened out before you drive.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing now.
Okay, sounds like a good plan.
Can I ask one question? If I'm gonna be able to get out today, do you have any idea of what time that might be, or is it just I just gotta wait?
About 6 to 8 hours.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, ma'am.
All right, we're
We're
not
not
done
done
yet.
yet.
Okay.
All
I'm still
right.
here.
So if you've got it, if you want to resolve your case today, then I will be taking a plea from you and asking you some questions under oath. So I'm going to ask you to raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Ms. Claro, do you understand everything that's going on here today?
Yes, ma'am.
Is anyone forcing you to resolve your case?
No.
Are you under the influence of drugs or alcohol?
No.
Do you need any more time to speak with your attorney?
No.
You understand that you do have the right to go to trial, but by taking a plea today, you are giving up that right?
Yes.
And is anyone forcing you to resolve your case?
No. I'm doing this for myself.
Have you ever
My
been
children.
have you ever been treated for mental or emotional illness?
I was Baker acted once in 2013, but it wasn't serious. I am an emotional and overly dramatic person.
All right.
I was seeking attention.
Is there anything about that treatment today that would affect your making an intelligent decision?
No.
And you understand that if you are not a U.S. citizen, by taking a plea today, it could subject you to deportation or immigration changes.
Yes, I understand that.
Okay, so then what plea do you wish to enter? Guilty or no contest?
Guilty.
All right, I accept your guilty plea. I find that it's freely and voluntarily given. Your sentence is adjudication and time served. Good luck, ma'am.
Can I ask one question?
Okay?
I have still not been able. I don't have my phone on me. Everything was left at my house, which I no longer live. I was moving out last night, and I have no numbers in my head except for one. When can I still have not been able to use the phone. I've asked since I got here if I can make one phone call. I'll be able to do that. So I won't have anyone to pick me up, and all my money is also at home.
Well, you're gonna have to talk to the jail about making a phone call, okay?
Okay, thank you both very, very much.
All right.
Judge, with Violet Albin's case, there's an active warrant. Did you want to withdraw it?
Who's Violet Albins?
It was just resolved previously for petty theft.
What is the warrant for? There's a warrant on the case that she just resolved? Yes, then withdraw the, yes.
She was here on the warrant, I thought. This is a KPS.
Is it a different one other than the one that she's resolved?
No, it's for the same case she just resolved, Judge. It was just still active, so I was just trying to see if we needed to do that.
Okay. All right, Kiana Sanders,
She's here, present judge at Maine.
Ms. Sanders, you're before the court for possession of cocaine, possession of PVP, and possession of drug paraphernalia, and the court does find probable cause. Does anyone wish to be heard?
I believe pretrial does.
Okay,
Your Honor, Ms. Sanders is currently on pretrial supervision in case number 19005566 CF10A, possession of PVP, possession of drug paraphernalia, She was just released from custody 6 days ago to pretrial supervision on these cases. At this time, we are going to request a revocation of her supervision, Your Honor.
Judge, the only thing I would like to say, Judge, these are both nonviolent offenses. My understanding that the case that she's currently out on pretrial is not filed. I'm going to ask the court to take any action.
It's not filed because it's been a week.
Right. What date was she put on pretrial?
May 1st.
All right, so the issue is that Ms. Sanders is before the court on exactly the same charges that she was already out on pretrial. So the case number on 195566 CF10A, where Ms. Sanders was placed on pretrial. Pretrial is asking that the pretrial supervision be revoked. The court is going to grant that, and I am going to impose $1,000 bond on count 1 and $100 bond on count 2. And as to the new arrest, the standard bonds are going to be in place. Okay? Soraya Tibe?
How do you your last name, ma'am?
Tibby.
Tibby?
Tibby is here.
Ms. Tibby is before the court is a misdemeanor capias. And then there's a felony capias that does have a no bond hold and not for magistrate. The misdemeanor matter have a $500 bond attached to it. The court finds probable cause. Ms. Tibby will be in court on her felony matter tomorrow, and then on the misdemeanor matter on the following day, on the 9th. Okay, good luck, ma'am. Celine Mesnil,
She bonded. North Broward? She bonded.
she bonded,
She
thank
bonded,
you, thank
yes.
you. And then Sabina Woodrick.
North Broward.
All right, Ms. Woodrick, you're before the court, possession of heroin, count 1. Count 2 is possession of cocaine. Count 3 is possession of alprazolam. Count 4 is possession of drug paraphernalia. And the court does find probable cause.
Judge, based on my conversation with Ms. Woodrick, it does not appear she's going to be able to make that monetary bond. I was going to ask the court to consider releasing her to pretrial release.
Michelle, do you have anything out of county? Only thing I see is she was arrested last month on a couple of capiases on municipal ordinances from 2017. Your Honor, I'm fine with pretrial with random testing.
Okay,
That'd be fine, Judge.
all right. So allow Ms. Woodrick to pretrial supervision with random drug testing. Okay?
Okay,
All right, ma'am, good luck.
thank you.
Watch.
How about Rayshawn Washington?
North Broward.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am. You are before the court for battery on an officer, and then count 2 is criminal mischief.
I was sleeping inside the car when they came to the
Oh,
car.
don't say anything, Judge. If you could put this on recall, I need to talk to Ms. Washington.
Okay, all right, your attorney wants to talk to you for a moment. I'll recall your case.
Right, go talk to him right now.
On the phone, yes.
Okay.
Joseph Sullivan Smith?
Conti, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Sullivan Smith, you're before the court. There,
Washington,
it's
my name is-
two additional charges, 5 and 6, which are out-of-state felony holds out of the state of Rhode Island. And those two counts are no bond holds. So you should be going to extradition court, maybe Thursday of this week, the soonest, okay?
Okay.
All right, good luck, sir. James Vega. Do we have James Vega?
Judge Ross Broward, I believe. Morning, Your Honor.
All right, good afternoon, Mr. Vega. You are before the court for battery causing bodily harm, domestic violence. Count 2 is resisting without violence. Count 3 is resisting officer without violence. Count 4 is tampering in a misdemeanor proceeding. And the court does find probable cause as to all those counts. We'll hear from the parties as to bond.
Your Honor, I'm gonna be requesting $10,000 bond on count 1, a $10,000 bond on count 4. Pretrial release with a GPS monitor, no victim contact, no weapons. Your Honor, I am greatly concerned for both the victim's safety, the child that is mentioned in the case, the daughter's safety, based on these allegations, Mr. Vega's own well-being. At this point in time, with the information that I have here, I think the bond I'm requesting and additional measures are necessary to ensure the victim's safety.
I'm sorry for my actions.
Don't say
okay?
anything, Mr. Vega. I share the state's concerns after reading the probable cause affidavit, Judge. I think that we need to take a closer look at Mr. Vega.
Yes, I agree. So the court does find probable cause. I am going to impose a $10,000 bond on 1 and 10,000 on 4. If he's able to post a bond, he'll be on a GPS level 2. And no victim contact, sir. It means no phone calls, no text messages, no social media, no asking a third person to contact the victim. Do you understand that, sir?
I understand that.
Your Honor,
Yes.
and the only other thing I would ask, and I don't have initials, but it does mention that she was a witness, and that would be, I'd be requesting no contact with the 10-year-old daughter.
Okay, and so the contact is that the mother and daughter?
That's what I'd be requesting.
Then no contact with the mother and daughter until further order of the court. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, ma'am. One more question.
Okay.
Would I be able to retain an attorney to, kind of go over the charges?
Yes.
And elaborate on them?
Yes. So
Okay.
when you have your attorney, either it's an attorney from the public defender's office, or if you have a private attorney, at that time, you'll be able to discuss your case and your defense with them, okay?
Thank you.
All right, sir. All right, Jeffrey Johnson.
Mr. Johnson's here, present main judge, he's approaching. Come on up, sir.
Mr. Johnson, you are before the court. Count 1 is possession of cannabis 20 grams or less, and count 2 is resisting officer without violence, and the court does find probable cause.
Judge, it's being Mr. Johnson. He wishes to resolve this matter today.
Okay, today's not your trial date, Ms. Washington. Today,
Does the court have an offer for Mr. Johnson?
Yes, Your Honor. It would be a withhold on count 1, adjudication time served on count 2.
Judge, he wishes to, it's off.
All right, Mr. Johnson, do you need any more time to speak with your attorney?
No, now.
All right, sir, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes.
Okay, you can put your hand down, sir. Mr. Johnson, you understand everything that's going on here today?
Yes.
Is anyone forcing you to resolve your case?
No.
Are you under the influence of drugs or alcohol?
No.
You understand that you have the right to go to trial, but by taking a plea today, you are giving up that right.
Yes.
And sir, have you ever been treated for mental or emotional illness?
Yes.
And is there anything about that illness that will cause you, will affect you making an intelligent decision today?
Not that I know of.
Well, only you can know, so I don't know who else would know.
I would say not at the time, then, man. No.
Okay? And do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, that by taking a plea today, it could subject you to deportation or immigration changes?
Yes.
Okay, what plea do you wish to enter, Mr. Johnson?
No contest.
All right, I accept your no contest plea. I find that it's freely and voluntarily given. Your sentence, sir, is withhold adjudication and court costs on count 1. And on count 2, it's adjudication and time served. Good luck, sir. And then Brian Pierre.
Come on up, Mr. Pierre.
All right, Mr. Pierre, you have 2 misdemeanor capious matters that suspended driver's license and disobeying officer. Those are the charges. It has been? Okay, so this is a capious from Judge Schiff on March 7th, sir. And so I've been told that your bond has been posted. So you need to make sure that you check the mail so you don't miss your court date. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck. Joshua Reed.
I've been advised you bonded, Judge.
Okay. And Trayvon Battle.
Bonded, Judge.
Okay. Stephen Lutz.
He's approaching, Judge. Come on up, Mr. Lutz.
All right, Mr. Lutz, you're before the court today because you did not appear for your arraignment on March 26th of 2019 on a petty theft charge. So that's why the capious was issued. I see that what does Mr. Lutz wish to do?
Judge, Mr. Lutz wishes to resolve this matter today.
Is there an offer?
Your withhold court cost, no return to the target at 3200 North Federal Highway in Fort Lauderdale.
Judge, he wishes to accept the state's offer.
All right, Mr. Lutz, do you need any more time to speak with your attorney?
No, I do not.
Please raise your right hand, sir. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay, sir, you can put your hand down. Mr. Lutz, is anyone forcing you to resolve your case?
No.
Are you under the influence of drugs or alcohol?
No, I am not.
And have you ever been treated for mental or emotional illness?
No.
And do you understand that you do have the right to go to trial, but by taking a plea today, you are giving up that right?
Yes, I do.
And have you ever been treated for mental or emotional illness?
No.
And sir, you understand that if you are not a U.S. citizen, that by taking a plea today, it could subject you to deportation or immigration changes.
Yes.
What plea do you wish to enter, Mr. Lutz?
No contest.
I accept your no contest plea. I find that it's freely and voluntarily given. Your sentences withhold adjudication and court costs, and sir, no return to that target.
Yes.
Okay?
Good luck, sir.
All right, Eric Roberts.
My name is Jackie Powell.
Conti?
All right, Mr. Roberts, how are you?
How are you doing?
I'm okay, sir. You are before the court for an additional charge. This is number 9
Right.
for grand theft.
Right.
Okay. I suspect Mr. Roberts has other bond.
He has no bond hold, Judge. I'd ask you to leave the $1,000 bond in place.
All right, so Mr. Roberts, your bond on this count is $1,000, okay?
Okay. No problem.
Okay, good luck, sir.
All right.
Aaron Christ,
Please approach the judge. He's here, me.
all right, sir, you have 4 misdemeanor capious matters, and then count 4 is an out-of-county felony hold, which is a no bond hold and not for magistrate. So the court does find probable cause, and you do have bonds attached to the misdemeanor cases, which I will leave in place at this time. And you do have court in, with your division judge tomorrow at 9:30, okay?
Your Honor, do we know, is that on all 3 cases, on all 3 charges?
The court date?
The case that's gonna be before, the local, on 1 and 2 is
MP.
one case, that was, in Division MP, and count 3 is, battery at North Satellite. I was just hoping that the battery could follow the other 2 charges.
Okay. Madam Clerk, is there something you can do to make sure that they all follow in the same division? Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Robert Shannon.
One moment, Judge. Please approach the judge.
All right, Mr. Shannon, you are before the court on a burglary occupied. The court does find probable cause.
Judge, I believe it's an attempt.
Well, at the,
Yeah, and Your Honor, I'm fine with an attempt at this time, based on what's written here.
okay. At the beginning, it looked like he was in, but it says attempted, okay.
Yeah, I mean, when
We'll do the
there's-
attempt.
I'm sorry?
I'll make the finding for the
Okay,
attempt.
thanks. Let's see. Your Honor, that being said, this was someone's home, it was occupied. His criminal history is a trespass. Last year, false ownership info on a pawn item, 2017. Possession of oxycodone and alprazolam with intent to sell or deliver, 09. Possession of oxycodone, 09. I'm gonna be requesting a $10,000 bond, no victim contact, no return.
Judge, unfortunately, Mr. Shannon, at this time, can't afford to post any sort of monetary bond, nor can anyone post that monetary bond on his behalf. He's 37 years, whole entire life. He's works part-time for a window company where he's been employed for 5 years now. He makes on an average about $200 a week. He lives in Hollywood with a friend that's helping him out, not charging him any rent, but that I'm not going to be able to help him post the financial bond. So I'm going to ask you to take that into consideration, determining reasonable release conditions for Mr. Shannon.
Does Mr. Shannon have an address,
Yes, and
a permanent
correct.
address? What is your address, sir?
2102 Wilson Street, apartment 4.
Why is it that on the complaint affidavit, what's 1206 North 22nd Avenue, number 3 in Hollywood?
That was where we just lived before we moved.
Well, when did you move?
Less than a year ago.
All right, with these allegations, he's pulling on the door. Someone yelled at him to try to get away from the door. He was still attempting to force his way into the residence. He then left, but I'll put Mr. Shannon on level 2 GPS.
Yes, Judge.
All right, so sir, I'll release you to pretrial supervision with a on a level 2 GPS. They'll come and fit you for the GPS and make sure you have a permanent address for them to work with, okay? Jeffrey Anglin.
Mr. Anglin is here present, Judge. He's approaching.
Mr. Anglin is before the court. Count 1 is an out-of-county felony hold, and that's a no bond hold and not for magistrate. It's out of Marion County. And then count 2 is driving while license suspended, and there's a $100 bond attached to that. The court does find probable cause, and I will leave the bond in place on count 2.
We're asking the court to consider an R on count 2 so Marion can pick him up, Judge.
All right, I'll grant the ROR on 2. Meshach Samuels.
Mr. Samuels, come on up, please.
Mr. Samuels, you're before the court. Count 1 is a false ID given to law enforcement officer. Count 2 is felony violation of probation. That is out of Miami-Dade. That has a no bond hold, and the court does find probable cause. All right. So he's got a bond on 1 and a no bond hold on 2. And Gregory Henriquez,
He's a medical research honor.
okay. And Jordan Avila. Jordan Avila.
Mr. Avila? Yeah, Jordan Avila?
His bond up? His bond has, his bond says posted? Okay.
Oh, that's why he bonded, Judge, sorry. Sorry, Judge, this is my
No,
bad.
that's okay. All right, and then are we ready with Miss Washington? Okay, she was at North Broward. All right. Good afternoon again, Miss Washington.
Judge, I'm going to be asking the court to put Ms. Washington on pretrial release. She's been living here all of her life. She's been living in the same location for the last 8 years. She has a business doing air conditioning repairs. She has a 16-year-old son. She has had contact with the criminal justice system in the past. She went to federal prison. She was released in 2011, and from what she tells me, she's not been in any trouble since then.
And I was sleeping inside the car yesterday.
Don't
like
talk
I
about the
didn't know.
facts of the case, Ms. Washington.
Okay.
Your Honor, the state would be requesting a $1,500 bond on count 1, or criminal history locally, 2006, carjacking with a firearm or deadly weapon, robbery with a firearm or deadly weapon. In 2009, she was sentenced to 3.5 years state prison. She did have a federal prior that Mr. Reedy referred to. That was at a Palm Beach for conspiracy to interfere with commerce by threats or violence, and was sentenced to 45 months in federal prison in 2008.
And that was ran concurrent together. It wasn't ran consecutive, one behind the other. It was ran concurrent.
And as I say, Judge, she got out in 2011, and she's
I've been doing
been on her
nothing.
best behavior since then.
I was sleeping inside the
I guess I
car.
should
Don't talk about the facts of the case, Ms. Washington.
wrong. I was just sleeping. That's all. In the car, I was asleep, and I woke up to them in my face. That's the only thing
Ms.
I know.
Washington, please don't discuss the facts of your case.
So where does Miss Washington live?
What's your address, ma'am?
She what, sir?
9580 Sunrise Lakes Boulevard, apartment 105.
Okay. How long have you been living there?
I've been living up 8 years. 8 years I've been living there. 8.
And what time do you go to work?
I go to work, I look on my list from email when Driveline merchandiser put it on my list. Whatever stores they have, like CVS, Walgreens, I go do recess and audits inside those establishments. Or then when sometimes people call me, they want the AC unit work on, I go work on the AC unit. That's what I do, and I'm being honest as possible. If I'm in here, I can't do it, and I can't work, and I can't get the money to do it.
All right, the court's will release you to pretrial supervision. Ma'am, I don't know what was going on here, but these allegations, there's a little bit of violence going on. I don't know why, I don't need you to respond to it, but I'm gonna
Yes,
put
ma'am.
you on pretrial supervision, and the deputy is going to give you the information for you to report. If you don't show up, a warrant will be issued for your arrest, okay? And if anything else happens after this, you'll be in violation of the pretrial order, okay?
Yes, I thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, good luck.
All right, good luck,
Thank
Ms.
you.
Washington.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
That's the which one? Oh, from this morning, okay. All right, do we have Roger Joseph?
Judge, he's approaching. My understanding is, he has private counsel.
booking
I
is supposed to be
believe,
fixed
Mr.
on
Reedy
Saturday.
attempted to contact Mr. Mark Saban.
I could not find a Mark Saban in the Florida Bar Directory.
All right, Mr. Joseph, when did you hire this attorney? Because we can't find him.
My mother told me earlier that she hired him. I don't know whether she did or not. I didn't get to keep talking to her because I had to come over here.
No one's filed a notice of appearance. according to
No,
Odyssey.
so no one's filed a notice of appearance, and we've not been able to get in touch with that person. So, do you want? Why did we reset it till this afternoon?
Your Honor, they had to fix the charges. If you look at the PC affidavit, there should have been 2 counts of burglary.
Oh, they didn't even. Oh, that,
So he's only
that
booked
hasn't
on-
been fixed.
My understanding is it has been fixed.
Not on what I have.
No, I know. Confinement, I believe. Confinement.
All right. Okay, I'll take your word for it, but that's not what I have. But so Mr. Joseph, do you want to wait for your attorney? We can reset you till tomorrow morning, or do you want to proceed at this time?
I would like to proceed.
All
Hire a
right.
public defender.
All right. So confinement. What are you saying is supposed to be what?
There's 2 burglary and 1 resist. I'm printing it out for you right
Okay. Yeah, because we don't have. All right, so Mr. Joseph, what's before the court is 2 burglary of an unoccupied conveyance, and then 1 count of resisting officer without violence. And it's 2 because there's 2 different vehicles. Do you want me to write on the,
Yeah.
this?
Yes.
All right, and the court does find probable cause, so I'll hear from the parties as to bond.
Your Honor, the state would be requesting a $1,000 bond on each burglary, an order of no victim contact, no return. Nothing further.
Judge, if the state is requesting a total of $2,000 bond on Mr. Joseph behalf, he advised me that his mother can afford to post that using the service of bond. He just gave me the phone number of his mom, and I'm gonna call her right out when I get out of here.
All right, so, $2,000 is total and no victim contact. Okay, sir? Okay.
I'll call your mom as soon as I get out of here, okay? So she can post your bond and I'll let her know. All right? Appreciate good luck, sir.
Let's start with the misdemeanor docket. We have Walter Wallace.
He's approaching, Judge. He's here at Maine. Mr. Wallace.
All right, how much bond is Mr. Wallace on and what's going on?
I believe he's being held on a $1,000 bond on the possession of cocaine. I believe the municipal ordinance, there's no bond necessary. Judge, he's 54 years old. He's been here his whole entire life. He's been here since the 3rd of May. Unfortunately, at this time, he is homeless, but he does have a mailing address. No one's going to be able to afford to post his monetary bond. Considering this is a nonviolent offense, we're asking the court to consider releasing Mr. Wallace on pretrial release.
Your Honor, the state would be opposed to pretrial based on Mr. Wallace's criminal history. 2016, possession of cocaine, 18-month state prison. 2014, carrying concealed weapon by a felon, year and a day state prison as a habitual offender. Possession of cocaine, 2012. Loitering and prowling, 2012. Possession of cocaine, 2011. Loitering and prowling, 2011. Possession of cocaine, 08. Possession of cocaine, 06. 22-month state prison on those cases. Delivery of cocaine, 03. 39-month state prison. Theft, 02. Carrying concealed weapon, 02. Possession of cocaine, carrying concealed weapon, 99. Possession of cocaine, 97. Burglary of a dwelling, grand theft, 95. I see 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 more burglaries and a strong arm robbery that predate the.
Judge, Mr. Wallace did advise me, and I don't know if state can check. He doesn't remember being on pretrial. He was never given that opportunity. He will abide by pretrial rules as far as being subject to random drug testing, and he'll come back to court, so he's asking for pretrial.
In this, when he was arrested, there was a possession of drug paraphernalia. There was an active kepius out for that. Do we know if that's been served?
Judge,
Yes,
yes,
it's,
he gave me the disposition. He went to court and resolved it.
I resolved it.
In addition to that failure to appear, I see so far, out of his most recent arrests, 3 were on a failures to appear. The 4th was on a new charge and a parole violation. So again, when there are conditions, he doesn't show up in court or he violates his conditions. I understand he may not have been given pretrial before, but that also could be because courts have deemed that he's not a good candidate for pretrial. Yeah, I mean, I went over it.
All right, there is just,
He went to court on the 7th, Judge, and resolved that paraphernalia.
okay. All right, at this time, I'm going to deny the ROR, the release, the pretrial. I'll leave the bonds in place. All right. Jacqueline Dorfman. maybe.
I think so.
Jacqueline Dorfman,
North Broward?
She's a medical reset again, Your Honor.
oh boy.
Yes.
Is this the lady that,
Yeah.
what?
We just want to transfer this to Judge Lerner Wren, Judge.
Okay, all right, so we'll transfer it to Judge Lerner Wren and we don't have to reset her, okay? All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Brittany Ferry,
North Broward.
All right, G.
Hello.
hello, ma'am. Miss Ferry, all right, what's the status of Miss Ferry? 1,000? Did we talk about pretrial with Miss Ferry, or is there?
She came through over the weekend, Your Honor.
Oh, okay,
But I also suspect, here's the problem.
yes,
Where to start? She pled out a battery. I believe, let me see where that was out of.
I requested for pretrial release on the kiosk, and because I have no way of paying a bond.
Yeah, Your Honor, here's what's going on. She was arrested. She pled out a domestic violence battery before Judge McHugh on April 2nd. And she pled that out to 90, 90 days, Broward County Jail, mitigated to time served upon completion of SAP.
okay,
She was released April 24th.
okay,
The problem is that she was arrested on that battery on a warrant for violating pretrial. The basis was she failed to report via telephone. Additionally, there was a battery arrest in 2017 that was dropped, a battery in 2016 that was dropped. It just appears that there are issues involving violence, or I don't know if it's anger issues, or frankly, I don't know what the issue is. But within a week of getting out of custody, she's getting picked up for another battery.
Well, the last battery I had was innocent because it was between me and my boyfriend, and
All right,
me and
ma'am,
him love
ma'am.
each other.
all right. I'm gonna deny the pretrial, request, and your bond will remain at $1,000. Okay? Breon Williams?
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
When will my next court date be?
That, I don't know.
I don't know.
No, I don't know.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
All right, Breon Williams?
He's out of custody, Your Honor. He
Breon
posted
is
bond.
out of custody?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, and then on our felony docket, Michael Yellington.
Case here, President Judge, that man approaching. Come on up, sir.
And, excuse me, Your Honor, I'm going to be requesting that the court take no action at this time. Mr. Yellington has only been in custody, by my count, 22 days. He was originally arrested, as you can see on the docket, March 18th. He was placed on pretrial and released March 19th, so that was 1 day in custody.
Okay,
He was then arrested April 16th for violating his pretrial and has been in custody since then. That's 21 days, so he's only been in custody a total, on this case, a total of 22 days.
okay.
Judge,
You just tell
I'm
her
gonna
it's
be
over
asking,
50 days old.
Judge, the case itself, is over about 50 days, Judge. And my understanding is when I reviewed Odyssey, the state filed an intent to delay filing. So therefore, it's not gonna be filed in time. This is, drug offense, Judge, we're asking for the court to consider going forward on this and considering releasing Mr. Yellington at this time.
Well, that's going to be denied if he is in, because he violated pretrial in the first place. So, no, I won't take any action today, and the bond will remain. Andrew Knudsen? Andre Knudsen?
No problem, John.
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, this is a second look. It's possession of controlled substance and drug paraphernalia. When he was arrested, he had a capias on an outstanding municipal ordinance that he has since pled out. I think when he came before Your Honor, remember Mr. Knudsen, he's appeared before you multiple times. The concern is, his last arrest was April 5th, and that was on capiases on 2 separate municipal ordinance cases. From what I can tell, over the past 2 years, he's been arrested 10 times on capiases for failures to appear in court.
I'm in custody, though. I've been in custody for 7 days, though.
Right, is Mr. Knudsen a candidate for drug court? Looks like,
Probably is. I don't know.
all right, I'm taking no action today. Your bond will remain in place, and maybe, he'll just see if he can get into drug court.
Shut him. Do you have any more?
Therese Williams?
All right, I believe, Judge.
Do we have Therese Williams?
Judge, she's downtown in court.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Let you know, I was also advised by confinement that she's being at charge. I don't know if that has anything to do
Oh, Ms. Williams?
Yeah, I don't know if that has anything to do with what she's in court on.
Okay,
I imagine one way or the other we'll find out.
we will find out. Rafael Mendonca?
He's here, present, Judge. Am I approaching? Come on up, sir.
Mr. Mendonca has been in since May 2nd, so this is the second look on his bond status.
Yes, ma'am.
And how much bond? Let's see, I think I have his information.
Judge, as you can see, he's being held on a $1,000 bond. I believe initially I didn't request anything. He's still in custody. He wasn't able to get in touch with anyone who posted his bond. I'm asking at this time for the court to consider releasing Mr. Mendonca on pretrial release.
Okay. I'll hear from the state.
Just checking to see if he has any. I wonder if he has any history. I mean, does he have any place to stay? Because the PC affidavit gives a Fort Lauderdale address. The booking sheet says he's at large.
Judge, right now, in speaking to Mr. Mendonca, he is homeless. However, he did advise me he does have friends and family in the community that he could use, one as their mailing address or two, potentially stay with them. But unfortunately, they right now cannot afford to post his bond. So that's why I'm asking nonviolent offense to consider releasing him on pretrial release.
Mr. Mendonca, I will release you to pretrial supervision. That's going to include random drug testing. So you must report to the pretrial office the information that the attorney is handing you. Failure to report, a warrant will be issued for your arrest. And in addition, you need to follow the instructions of pretrial in regards to the random drug testing, okay?
Okay, that can happen like anytime. Okay.
All right, right. That means it can happen at any time. That's correct. All right, Robert McMahon.
North Broward, Judge.
All right, Mr. McMahon is in for a petty theft?
Yes, ma'am.
No, it's a felony.
Yes, it's a felony petty theft.
Yeah.
Yes, Your Honor.
with a $750 bond that Mr. McMahon has not been able to make. I'm looking at the number of times our office has represented Mr. McMahon, and this is the only time. So I don't know what his criminal history in Broward is.
I'm new here. I'm a disabled vet. I'm here because I'm an entertainer, and I'm going to be playing at your football stadium in Miami, and all the money we make goes to cure cancer and diabetes. We're doing a North American and then a world tour.
What instrument do you play?
I play acoustic and lead guitar, and I'm the lead singer. We do classic rock, Beatles, Stones, things like Queen, those types of bands.
And where are you planning? Where are you touring to?
We're going to, after we play Miami, we're playing the Keys, we're playing Tampa, Jacksonville, because they have football stadiums. I need a big stadium to make a lot of money. We're playing New Orleans, we're heading out west, California, Seattle, and we're playing all the way from Canada to Panama. And after that, will be a 7-year world tour. And we're going to get rid of cancer and diabetes because killed my wife and my son has brain cancer. And I'm sick of this, and most families are affected by it. They're horrible diseases, and I'm going to get rid of them because God's telling me what to do,
Okay.
how to do it.
Yeah, Your Honor, I'm going to be asking the court to take no action.
What kind of prayers does Mr. McMahon have?
I can pull them up, but I mean, my concern at this point is frankly, it's of the mental health variety.
Yeah. All right, we can sign an order to transfer to Lerner Wren.
It's a felony.
Oh, it's a felony? No, never mind. Oh, that's right, it's a petty. I don't know.
Well, well, Your Honor, if you want to go there, he says he's down here to play the football stadiums because it's football season. It's not football season. There's not going to be any football games in Broward anytime soon. So, if you want to, I mean, if you really want to go this route.
Oh, I'm not going any route.
No, I don't
He
mean-
said,
I don't-
he
no,
said,
I'm not-
he said a lot of things,
I wasn't directing that at the court. I'm just saying,
I get you. All right, we'll leave the bonds in place, and, Mr. McMahon, you'll see your division judge shortly, okay?
Okay.
All right, sir. Alvin Jackson,
Mr. Jackson is here present, Main Judge. He's approaching. Come on up, sir.
Good morning, Your Honor.
all right, Mr. Jackson, good afternoon. You're before the court for a second look at your bond status. He was arrested on May 3rd. I don't know.
Correct, Judge. He has a $1,000 bond. It's a grand theft and I believe a felony petty theft. He has a total of $1,000 bond. Unfortunately, no one's going to be able to post his bond. He's homeless. He's looking for work. He's 50 years old, been living here in our community for now about 7 years. My understanding is he does have prior contact with the criminal justice system, but it's been a number of years. So that's why I'm asking on this nonviolent offense is for the court to consider releasing Mr. Jackson on pretrial release.
He was on a warrant on the felony theft. Your Honor, looking at the PC and the booking sheet, it shows an address of in O'Fallon, Illinois.
He advised me that address is about 15 years old, Judge.
The concern is, just looking,
Did you say that he was ROR'd on the felony?
The felony theft he was ROR'd on.
On the
grand
count
theft
one?
is- No, he's got $1,000 on the grand theft.
Yeah,
Count two is felony petty theft.
okay,
He was ROR'd on the felony petty theft.
okay, okay.
Just looking at, and as pretrial mentioned, priors out of Florida, Virginia, Illinois, it does appear that Mr. Jackson is transient.
But those priors, my understanding, Judge, are years old, I believe, since over 2012.
Yeah,
Right,
I've been here since 2012.
right, but he's now before the court on 2 theft charges. I am going to leave the bond in place. All right, Ramon Flores.
Judge, I didn't hear you.
I'm denying the pretrial, and the bond is staying in place.
Yes, Judge. He's here present, Judge.
All right, Mr.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. All right, Mr. Flores, yes.
I'm sorry.
Yes, go ahead.
He was placed on level 2. When I asked him, what was the circumstances, he said was his public defender. He requested because he was having a hard time contacting people, but now he's managed to get a hold of somebody that would be willing to post his bond. So what we're asking the court to do is to put back the monetary bond, which was in place of $750.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, Judge.
Don't concern me. Yeah.
Yes, remove the pretrial and
Originally, I would have.
put a $750 bond. I believe that's it. All right.
But Michelle, now I know why she did it.
Oh, yeah, I spoke with Mr. Farberek about that. And I think he agrees the court took the right action on it.
No action. There was no
Yeah,
action on
it took
Mr.
the right-
Young.
No action.
The right.
Who's that?
Jacqueline Dorfman
Transferred to Judge Lerner Wren.
and Walter Wallace also had a case on the.
Right, they were both,
No action today?
right.